Ladies and gentlemen, in this journey, I'll show you why keeping your ambitions close to your heart isn't about secrecy, it's about strength. It's about giving your vision the space to grow without the weight of others' doubts and expectations. By the end, you'll see how silence isn't weakness. It's the power move of champions. There's something captivating about not knowing. Think about the stories that grab our attention the most. They're the ones that keep us guessing, the ones where the truth is revealed bit by bit. We lean in closer when there's mystery because the unknown is magnetic. It's a universal truth. What is hidden often holds the greatest power. In the same way, keeping your dreams and ambitions private creates a sense of intrigue and authority that can work wonders for your journey. When you don't immediately disclose what you're working on or striving for, you generate curiosity. People are naturally drawn to those who don't lay all their cards on the table. It's not about being secretive for secrecy's sake. It's about creating an atmosphere where your energy is protected and your focus remains sharp. The world doesn't need to know every detail of your plan. In fact, when they know less, they often respect more. It's human psychology. We tend to value things that are exclusive, that we can't easily access. Your dreams and ambitions should be treated the same way. When you withhold your intentions, you create a boundary, a sacred space where your vision can grow undisturbed. Consider this: when you share your plans openly, you invite feedback, opinions, and questions. Some of that feedback might be helpful, but much of it can be detrimental. Not everyone will understand your vision. Not everyone will support it. Even well-meaning people can project their fears and doubts onto your dreams. Are you sure that's the right path? That sounds risky. I heard someone else tried that and failed. These seeds of doubt can take root in your mind, weakening your resolve and clouding your focus. By keeping your goals private, you shield yourself from unnecessary negativity. You create a protective cocoon where your ideas can develop strength and resilience. Mystery gives you control over your narrative. When people don't know what you're working on, they can't form expectations. They can't measure your progress against their timeline or their standards. This freedom allows you to move at your own pace, to make mistakes and adjustments without the weight of outside judgment. You're not performing for an audience, you're building something real, something meaningful. And when you finally do reveal what you've been working on, the impact is so much greater. The element of surprise is powerful. It commands attention. People are far more impressed by results than by plans. They remember what you've achieved, not what you said you would do. There's also an internal benefit to maintaining this mystery. When you share your goals prematurely, you can fall into the trap of feeling a false sense of accomplishment. Talking about your dreams can give you a temporary high, a momentary feeling that you've already done something significant. But words are not actions. That feeling of satisfaction can be deceptive. It can drain the urgency and motivation you need to actually make those dreams a reality. By keeping your plans private, you stay hungry. You stay driven. The only validation you seek is from your own progress, your own milestones. Think about some of the most successful people you admire. They often operate with an air of mystery. They don't broadcast every step they take. They let their results speak for them. There's a reason for that. They understand that true power lies in action, not an announcement. They know that the less you say, the more you can do. This isn't about being distant or disconnected. It's about being focused. It's about recognizing that your energy is precious, that your vision is worth protecting. Embrace the power of mystery. Let it be your secret weapon. When people ask what you're up to, smile and say, "You'll see." Let that be the fuel that keeps you moving forward. Because one day they will see. They'll see the results of your hard work, your dedication, and your silence. And they won't just see a dream, they'll see a reality that you built step by step without letting the winds of opinion blow you off course. In the end, mystery isn't about hiding, it's about holding onto your vision, holding onto your strength, holding onto the power that comes from knowing that your journey is yours alone until you decide to share it. When you finally do, the world won't just hear about your dream, they'll witness its power. Every dream begins as a delicate spark, an idea that flickers to life, fragile and full of potential. It's like a tender seedling that needs the right environment to grow. In its early stages, your dream is vulnerable. It's not yet strong enough to withstand the harsh winds of criticism, doubt, or negativity. Protecting your dream during this critical period is one of the most important steps you can take on the path to realizing it. This protection isn't about secrecy for secrecy's sake. It's about giving your vision the space and time it needs to take root and flourish. When you share your dreams and ambitions too soon, you expose them to the world's judgments and opinions. Not everyone will see your vision the way you do. Some people might genuinely want to help but project their own fears, insecurities, and limitations onto your ideas. Are you sure that's practical? What if it doesn't work out? I know someone who tried something similar and failed. These words, even when spoken with good intentions, can plant seeds of doubt in your mind. And doubt is like a weed. Once it takes root, it can choke the life out of your dream before it even has a chance to grow. Think about a fragile flame. In the early stages of a fire, you need to protect it from the wind. If you expose it too early, it will be extinguished before it can grow strong enough to provide warmth and light. Your dreams are the same. They need nurturing, time, and protection. They need to be shielded from external forces that could blow them out. When you keep your goals private, you create a safe space for them to develop. You give yourself the opportunity to work through challenges and setbacks without the added pressure of other people's expectations or skepticism. Another layer to this protection, the emotional and psychological energy you save by not having to defend or explain your dream to others. Every time you share your vision, you invite questions, critiques, and comparisons. You find yourself spending time and energy justifying your goals or reassuring others of your capabilities. That's energy that could be better spent on the actual work of building your dream. When you keep your ambitions to yourself, you conserve that precious energy. You stay focused on what matters most, taking action, learning, and growing. Sharing your dreams too early can also create a false sense of accomplishment. Talking about your plans can give you a temporary boost of satisfaction, as if saying it out loud makes it real. But words are not the same as actions. That momentary high can be deceptive. It can create a sense of complacency that slows your progress. When you keep your goals private, you maintain a sense of urgency. There's no external validation to distract you, no applause to make you feel like you've already arrived. You stay hungry, you stay motivated. The only validation that matters comes from within, from the progress you make and the milestones you reach. Protecting your dream also means giving yourself the freedom to change, adapt, and grow without external pressure. When you share your plans too early, you might feel locked into a particular path or timeline because others are watching. You might hesitate to pivot or take risks because you're worried about what people will think. But the journey to realizing a dream is rarely a straight line. It's a winding path full of unexpected twists and turns. Keeping your vision private allows you the flexibility to navigate that path on your own terms. You can experiment, make mistakes, and course correct without feeling like you're under a microscope. And when the time comes to share your dream, when it's strong enough to withstand the winds of the world, your results will speak for themselves. People won't see an idea, they'll see a reality. They won't remember the doubts or questions they had. They'll see the work you've done, the progress you've made, and the strength of your commitment. There's a quiet power in that. It commands respect. It shows that you believed in your vision enough to protect it, to nurture it, and to bring it to life on your own terms. Protect your dream. Guard it like the precious treasure it is. Give it the time and space it needs to grow strong. Because the world doesn't need to know what you're building until it's ready to stand on its own. And when it does, it won't just be a dream, it will be a testament to your resilience, your focus, and your unwavering belief in what's possible. In the fast-paced world we live in, our energy is one of the most valuable resources we have. We only have so much of it, and how we choose to spend it can determine the trajectory of our lives. When you openly share your dreams and ambitions, you begin to expend energy in ways that might not be as productive as you think. Every time you explain yourself, justify your goals, or seek validation, you drain your mental and emotional reserves. That's energy that could be better spent actually building your dream, learning new skills, taking action, and making progress toward your goals. Think of it like a battery. Every time you engage in a conversation about your plans, especially with people who don't understand your vision or who may question that you're using up valuable power. Now, while you might feel a brief sense of satisfaction from talking about your goals, that satisfaction is fleeting. It's a temporary high, a surface level form of accomplishment. But when you direct your energy toward real, meaningful action, that's when your progress becomes tangible. Talking about your dreams is easy, actually living them requires effort, focus, and consistency. When you keep your goals to yourself, you conserve that energy. Instead of explaining why you're doing what you're doing or defending your choices to others, you use that mental and emotional space to work on what truly matters, your vision. You can channel your focus into your actions instead of wasting it on trying to convince others that your dream is valid or that you're capable of making it a reality. In fact, explaining your goals repeatedly can be mentally exhausting. Think about all the different people you may encounter on your journey: family members, friends, colleagues, acquaintances. Every time someone asks you about your dream or your plan, you might feel obligated to give them a detailed answer. You find yourself spending precious time and energy reiterating your ideas, justifying your path, and answering questions that may not even be helpful. Each of these interactions can leave you feeling drained and less motivated to keep moving forward. There's also the risk that you might start to internalize the doubts or concerns expressed by others. If someone questions your plan or tells you it's too risky, those words can linger in your mind long after the conversation is over. You might find yourself second-guessing your decisions or questioning your ability to follow through. That's energy that could be used to build your dream, but instead, it's being redirected toward doubt and uncertainty. The longer you spend defending your vision or explaining it to others, the further away you get from actually achieving it. By keeping your ambitions private, you give yourself the freedom to stay focused. You create a mental space where your ideas can evolve without interference. You can make mistakes, take risks, and experiment without worrying about what other people think. You aren't bogged down by the weight of other people's expectations. Your energy remains yours to use as you see fit. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. You can just be. You can simply do the work, move forward, and let your actions speak for themselves. The more energy you conserve, the more momentum you build. When you're focused on your goals and not distracted by the need for validation, your progress becomes more pronounced. Each step you take brings you closer to realizing your dream, and that feeling of forward momentum fuels you to keep going. You don't have to seek external approval or validation because you're driven by your own internal compass. Your energy is aligned with your purpose, and that makes all the difference. One of the biggest challenges in pursuing any dream is maintaining the drive to keep going, especially when things get tough. There will be obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But if you've saved your energy by not wasting it on justifying or explaining your plans to others, you'll have the strength to push through those hard times. You'll have the emotional resilience to stay committed to your vision no matter what challenges arise. It's not just about physical energy either. The mental energy you save by not constantly defending your goals is equally important. It allows you to think more clearly, make better decisions, and stay creative. You can approach problems with a clear mind and a calm heart because you're not bogged down by the mental clutter of other people's opinions. The most successful people are the ones who conserve their energy. They don't waste time explaining themselves or seeking approval. They focus on what matters, doing the work, building the dream, and letting their results speak for themselves. They understand that energy is a finite resource and they use it wisely. By keeping your dreams private and conserving your energy, you set yourself up for long-term success. You build momentum, stay focused, and create the space you need to make your vision a reality. There's a unique power in results. When you let your actions speak for you, the impact is far greater than any words or explanations could ever achieve. Results don't need to be justified. They don't require you to convince anyone of their value. They stand on their own, undeniable and impactful. The truth is, we all know that actions are far louder than words. A person who consistently delivers results will always command more respect than one who constantly talks about what they plan to do. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of sharing your dreams with others, to talk about what you're going to accomplish, to paint a picture of the success you envision. But that excitement, while it can be motivating in the moment, is nothing more than a fleeting rush. The real work, the real challenge lies in following through on those plans and turning them into tangible outcomes. And the moment you reveal those results, the world will take notice. They won't need to know everything you said, everything you planned, or everything you envisioned. They'll see your success, and that will speak volumes. There's something profound about the quiet, steady approach of letting your work reveal your worth. Think about the most successful people you admire. Do they spend their time talking about what they're going to do? Or do they focus on doing it and let their results show the world their capability? There's a reason why the most accomplished individuals rarely boast about their plans. They know that results carry more weight. The world doesn't need to hear about your ambitions. It needs to see what you've created. And when you let your actions shine, your success becomes a natural extension of who you are, not something you have to explain or defend. When you speak about your dreams, you invite skepticism. It's a natural human tendency to question things we don't fully understand or things that seem too far out of reach. By talking about your dreams too early, you expose yourself to criticism and doubts from those who don't share your vision or who are caught up in their own limiting beliefs. Even the most well-meaning people can inadvertently plant seeds of doubt in your mind. The moment you start talking, you give others the opportunity to judge and question your vision. But results, they're irrefutable. No one can deny the power of a completed project, a new business, a breakthrough idea that has made an impact. When you let your work speak for itself, it forces people to take you seriously. They see the tangible evidence of your effort, your dedication, and your brilliance. There's a liberating sense of freedom that comes with this approach. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself or defend your actions. You can simply focus on doing the work and let your results shine through. The more you can detach yourself from the need for approval, the more your focus shifts from pleasing others to creating something that truly matters to you. This shift allows you to move with confidence, knowing that the real measure of your success lies not in how many people know about your plans, but in what you actually achieve. Moreover, letting your results speak for themselves frees you from the pressure of living up to others' expectations. You can set your own standards and define success on your own terms. When you're focused solely on the outcome of your efforts, you're less concerned with the opinions of others. You stop comparing yourself to others or measuring your progress against arbitrary timelines. Instead, you measure your success by the milestones you hit, by the impact you make, and by how far you've come. There's something deeply empowering about this approach. You're no longer living for the approval of others, you're living for the satisfaction of your own progress and growth. The process of creating something meaningful is rarely linear. It's messy, complicated, and full of unexpected twists and turns. When you talk about your dreams prematurely, you set yourself up for unnecessary pressure. You might feel obligated to follow through with a certain path or timeline because people are watching. But when you keep your goals private and focus solely on producing results, you allow yourself the flexibility to pivot, adapt, and evolve without fear of external judgment. You give yourself the freedom to fail and learn, knowing that failure is simply part of the process of growth. And when the time comes to share your success, it will be a reflection of your perseverance, your dedication, and your ability to stay focused on what truly matters. Letting your results speak also deepens your sense of fulfillment. There's an incredible sense of satisfaction that comes from achieving something through your own efforts. The process of creating and accomplishing is where the true magic happens. It's easy to talk about what you want to achieve, but the real satisfaction comes when you look back and see the results of your hard work. The joy, pride, and fulfillment you feel in those moments are incomparable to any validation you might receive from others. When your results speak for you, they also provide the ultimate sense of accomplishment. You don't need anyone else's approval because you know deep down that you've done the work and you've earned your success. Your results are the final proof of your capability. They're what people will remember. No one will care about the countless conversations you had about your dreams. They'll remember the impact you made, the things you accomplished, and the legacy you leave behind. So focus on your work, stay committed, and let your results speak volumes about who you are and what you can achieve. Because in the end, actions always speak louder than words. Seeking validation is a natural part of being human. We all want to be seen, heard, and acknowledged. But when it comes to pursuing our dreams, constantly seeking approval from others can be one of the biggest obstacles to success. When we place too much importance on what others think, we give them control over our vision. We risk losing sight of what we truly want because we become more focused on meeting other people's expectations rather than listening to our own instincts and desires. The problem with validation is that it is often based on external standards that don't align with our true purpose. People may have good intentions when they offer advice or give their opinions, but their suggestions are often influenced by their own experiences, fears, and limitations. What works for one person might not work for another, and someone else's success doesn't necessarily mean it will translate into your own. When you seek validation from others, you open yourself up to comparisons that are irrelevant to your journey. Everyone's path is unique, and validation rooted in someone else's criteria can pull you off course. In many ways, the need for validation is a trap. When you rely on external approval, you start to shape your actions and decisions based on what others think. This can make you lose touch with your authentic self and your true desires. The moment you start tailoring your actions to fit someone else's expectations, you divert your energy away from what you truly want to achieve. Your dreams stop being yours and start becoming a reflection of what others believe is possible or acceptable. This shift not only weakens your sense of purpose, but it can also diminish your passion. What's worse is that validation is fleeting. When you finally receive praise, it feels good for a moment, but it's often short-lived. The more you seek validation, the more you'll need it to feel satisfied. This creates an ongoing cycle of dependency. You begin to rely on others to measure your worth, which can lead to feelings of insecurity and self-doubt when the validation doesn't come. You become trapped in a cycle of trying to please others, and your confidence becomes tied to their approval. Over time, this cycle can erode your self-belief, leaving you feeling empty despite external recognition. Instead of seeking validation from others, you must learn to seek validation from within. This requires a shift in mindset from looking for approval to learning to trust and believe in yourself. When you believe in your vision and your ability to achieve it, external validation becomes irrelevant. You no longer need others to affirm your worth because you have already recognized it. You understand that you are the one who determines the value of your dreams, and you have the power to bring them to life, regardless of outside opinions. When you stop seeking approval, you begin to focus on what really matters: the work. Your energy is no longer spent on convincing others that your dreams are worth pursuing. You stop asking for permission and start taking ownership of your journey. You become self-directed, focused, and determined. This shift gives you the power to make decisions that align with your vision, not with someone else's idea of success. It frees you from the pressure to conform and allows you to stay true to what you really want. By no longer seeking external validation, you also stop comparing yourself to others. You stop measuring your progress against their timelines and standards. Instead, you create your own metrics for success and move at your own pace. This frees you from the anxiety of keeping up with others and allows you to enjoy the journey without the burden of constantly feeling inadequate or behind. When you are not focused on what others are doing or saying, you can focus all your energy on moving forward with clarity and purpose. True validation comes from within. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing that you are on the right path, that you are aligned with your values, and that you are giving your best effort. It's the satisfaction of knowing that, despite any challenges or setbacks, you are moving toward your goal with integrity and commitment. This inner validation is more fulfilling and lasting than any praise or recognition from the outside world. When you validate yourself, you become your own biggest supporter, and this self-belief becomes the foundation upon which your success is built. The need for external validation only distracts you from the one thing that truly matters: the work. The results you achieve, the progress you make, and the journey you embark on should be your source of motivation and satisfaction. When you stop seeking validation from others, you take full ownership of your dreams, you trust yourself and your abilities, and that trust, based on an unwavering belief in your potential, is the most powerful validation you will ever receive. In the pursuit of any meaningful goal, there's a temptation to seek quick validation from others. We often measure our progress by the reactions we get from people, waiting for them to acknowledge our efforts and success. But the truth is, validation can sometimes be more of a distraction than a source of motivation. It can cause you to become attached to external opinions, shaping your decisions based on the approval or criticism of others. The irony is that as you grow and evolve, people's perceptions of you will change, and their opinions will often shift in unpredictable ways. By the time they acknowledge your success or offer their praise, it may be too late to affect your journey meaningfully. Waiting for validation or approval from others can put you in a constant state of uncertainty, as it's a moving target. One day someone might praise your idea, and the next, they might question your approach or your ability to follow through. This uncertainty can derail your confidence, causing you to second-guess yourself. The reality is, when you rely on others for validation, you give them the power to either motivate or demoralize you. The feedback you receive is often colored by their personal biases, experiences, and fears, none of which have anything to do with your potential or your path. Their reactions are not reflective of your capabilities, they are simply their own interpretations of your actions. What's even more challenging is that sometimes, even when you do achieve success, the validation you seek may not come in the way you expect. You might reach your goal, but people around you might not recognize or appreciate the full extent of your efforts. They might not understand the sacrifices you made or the internal battles you fought to get there. The praise you were hoping for might never materialize, or it might come much later, leaving you feeling unfulfilled. This delayed validation can lead to feelings of frustration or confusion, especially if you were counting on it as a measure of your worth or accomplishment. When you stop seeking external validation, something remarkable happens. You stop giving others the power to determine your worth or dictate your actions. You begin to recognize that validation, when it does come, is simply a reflection of the work you've already put in. It's not the source of your motivation, but rather a byproduct of your dedication. By focusing on the journey rather than waiting for outside approval, you learn to rely on your internal compass. You create your own measures of success and find fulfillment in the process of growth, not in the accolades or approval of others. When you let go of the need for external validation, you stop measuring yourself against other people's timelines. You stop comparing your progress to theirs and focus on your own unique journey. Comparison can be one of the most destructive forces in our pursuit of success. It leads to self-doubt and discouragement, as you start to question whether you're on the right path or if you're moving fast enough. But when you turn inward for validation, you focus solely on your progress. You track your growth based on where you were yesterday, not where someone else is today. This shift allows you to appreciate how far you've come, rather than feeling frustrated about how far you still have to go. When you stop seeking external validation, you free yourself from the constant cycle of trying to please others. Instead of adjusting your path to meet their expectations, you stay true to your own. You begin to trust your instincts and follow your own inner guidance, making decisions based on what feels right to you, not what will make someone else happy or impressed. This freedom allows you to create work that is authentic to you, rather than trying to mold yourself into something you think others will approve of. The work you produce becomes an extension of who you are, and that authenticity shines through. This internal validation builds an unshakable confidence. You no longer need to be constantly reassured by others because you have learned to believe in your own abilities. You trust yourself to make the right choices, even in the face of uncertainty. You recognize that failure and setbacks are part of the process, not a reflection of your worth or ability. When validation comes from within, it is a steady and reliable source of strength. It gives you the confidence to take risks, try new things, and push through challenges without the fear of being judged or rejected. The journey to success becomes a deeply personal one when you stop relying on external validation. It's about proving to yourself that you have what it takes. The satisfaction you feel when you achieve something is far greater when it is not dependent on someone else's recognition. You realize that you don't need anyone else's approval to validate your worth or your accomplishments. You've already done that for yourself. At the end of the day, the people who truly matter will recognize your success because it will be evident in the work you do and the impact you make. But even if they don't, you will have the inner peace that comes from knowing that your validation was never about their approval. It was always about you believing in yourself, staying true to your vision, and trusting that your hard work would pay off. And that, ultimately, is the only validation that will ever truly matter.